All right, guys. So we're gonna just jump right into it. We don't need to tell you guys how to say hello to a new patient, open the door for them, introduce yourself. You guys know how to do that. You're professionals. So we're just gonna jump into the consult part of it. So right now, here's the scenario. What do you want to get? Weight loss, body contouring. I mean, really.
It could be it's all the same exact process. The biggest thing to understand is to have a process. So for when everybody comes in, of course, our team is going to be giving you guys notes. You're going to know what they're here for, but it's immediately setting the frame and getting right into discovery where you're going to get your patients to open up and start kind of talking, telling you why they want the treatment, which is going to make the sale a lot quicker and easier. So if he was coming in, I know you guys know how to say hi, but welcome into the clinic. So Blake, saw you came in. You're maybe looking for some medical weight loss, for example. I saw a few of the notes, some of the things that you've tried in the past, but just kind of give me the rundown, kind of catch me back up to speed.
Yeah, absolutely. And point real fast I want to make on that. Think about the last time you went to the dentist or anybody and they sat down with you whenever you're having a problem and really did a discovery. I sometimes my shoulder tweaks out sometimes. I have to go see my shoulder doctor just to get checked up on. I sit down and it's just like, how's the shoulder? Man, it kind of hurts. All right, well, let's check out, see what we can do for you. And it's like, but there's no real process, right? The difference is when I got shoulder pain, that's a need. Like I
Mhm.
can't go a day or two or months or years because I know it's bad for me. But in this business, in the medical, med spa, aesthetics, things like that, these people are not married to that. This is a very emotional sale for the most part. So I just wanted to make that point there. Like, if you're just sitting down, running people through what they want to hear, getting the price and going, it's probably the reason why you're running into a lot of objections. So let's jump right into it. I know you said what have I tried before in weight loss? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and weight loss is something that's probably more of a need, but with like filler injections, sometimes Botox injections, body contouring, some of these things aren't essentially a need. So it is, we could also do something else. But weight loss, I would argue, is probably a need.
Yeah. Well, they
Um,
need to lose the weight, but
but
maybe.
also for you guys as the clinic owners, like treat every single treatment like it is a need. Like you should have so much conviction in these treatments that if someone is showing up to the clinic and they want body contouring, it's not, you know, maybe this isn't worth this much, so I should give them a discount. It's no, like this is my treatment, this gets results, and have conviction in what you're selling. That's the most important part.
Yep.
But yeah, we could do some role play where I'm a medical director. I'm running him through the console. So I open up immediately. I'm setting the frame. I'm asking the questions. So he's submitting to me. He's answering those questions, and I'm able to kind of build a gap to really make it easier if to by the end of this consultation for me to ask him for, hey, based on your goals, we should probably do at least a 12-week program or a 6-month program. I'm gonna be able to actually say that because I asked those questions and I built the custom game plan.
Yep. Also,
Um,
thanks for the water in the lobby, Mr. Clay, Mr. Lake.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's jump
We
into it.
take we
Cool. So
take
we
care of
sitting
our
down. We're
customers.
sitting down doing the consultation. So run me through it. Hey, doc, what's up?
Yeah, so we saw that you came in looking for maybe some semaglutide, GLP-1. I'm curious, how long has this kind of been? Have you been dealing with some issues with trying to lose some weight?
I mean, man, I mean, it's been it's been a while. I mean,
Mhm,
there are definitely probably some things that I could do that are better. I mean, I've tried some things, like go to the gym,
mhm,
um, do things like that. So I mean, I would definitely say that I've been kind of dealing with this for a little bit,
mhm,
and I'm more so just interested in like how this works. And I just want to let you know up front, like I'm not super adamant on getting it.
mhm.
I just want to be respectful of your time, because I'm more so just kind of like curious of
Yeah.
how it works. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, totally understand. There's absolutely no pressure with us today, so it's more just to kind of give you some education and understand how this can help you. But I guess when you say for a while, a while can mean a lot of different things for certain people. Has this kind of been something that your whole life you struggled to keep weight off, or is it more maybe you got a tough job where it made it a little bit more difficult to, maintain a healthy habit of going to the gym, getting your sleep? Like when you say a while, kind of maybe give me a little bit more of a
Yeah, I mean,
description.
I kind of think all of the above. Like it's always kind of been something that I've dealt with for a
Mhm,
while, and I've kind of seen the videos, and I see a lot of the ads all the time for this. But I
mhm,
saw your ad; it was a little bit different, which is the reason why I came in. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that it's something I've struggled with for years, to say the least. I mean,
yeah,
when I was a kid, I did sports and everything like that. But I mean, you get a little bit older. I have a pretty, I work at office.
right.
Um, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I feel as if I kind of eat a decent diet,
Hmm.
um, but I don't know. I mean, it's definitely gets harder
Yeah.
as you
Do
get
you
older.
kind of feel like you're stress eating and it's kind of hard to stay consistent? Or I know you said you have a pretty good diet, but do you feel like it's a consistent, healthy?
No,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably. I mean, probably could be better. Like
Hmm. Late night cravings, stuff like that. Get home from a late night at work. How often are you able to get to the gym and gotta kind of have a consistent, routine there?
I mean, I wouldn't really put gym and consistent in the same sentence if I'm being honest. I try and get my walks in after work or get some steps in. But yeah, I mean, I definitely have the late night cravings. I want to take a pause here for a second. You see how like he's asking like really emotional questions, like really, really digging. Really, where I'm sitting right now, I'm putting myself in the patient's shoes. Like I'm kind of uncomfortable right now.
Yep.
Like I'm
And this is
uncomfortable.
what closers do. And I want you guys to have this mindset. You're a medical director. This is what you're good at, but you're a closer. So closers ask hard questions. Sit in this uncomfortableness with them. And I'm gonna shift into more of trying to understand, okay, well, how much, if you're okay with letting me know. And let's just resume. Let's just get right
Yeah,
back
and
into it.
I
So
took. I mean, look at the frame I took as well. I was like, I'm not interested. I'm not really adamant on moving forward. I'm kind of skeptical. Not much skeptical, but I'm not really opening up, so to say.
also
Um,
before we kind of jump back into, you guys know more than me about all the different
this is the first take we've ever done.
yeah, all the different science behind GLP-1 and these semaglutide, all of these type of treatments. Like you guys have the brains on that more than I do. But what I'm trying to show you with this video is get this patient in that pocket if they want to move forward before you start educating too much. Because I want him to feel like this is something that's
Oh,
possible.
such a good
This
line.
is a solution for me. And then when you're educating him, it's kind of like there's a reason I'm asking these questions too, is I don't want your patients to feel like, oh, I can just take the shot and all my worries will go away. I'm building this up to say, look, we're not going to the gym. We're not having good sleep habits. We're not consistent with our diet. So look, these injections are going to help you. You're going to lose the weight. You're going to, that's going to shut off all the late night cravings. But it's also important to, and you'll see that where I go next with this is building a gap. So Blake, how much do you weigh? What is ideally, where do you want to be?
Yeah,
What's the time frame on that? To show them that, like, look, we could probably do a 12-week program. We could do a 6-month program. You're going to lose the weight, but if you want to see the best results and feel healthy, it's going to be important to maintain these other habits. So that way, guys, look, you can package these things up.
I was just about to
Yeah.
jump in on. I was about to say like, if you're just educating, you're gonna get people in that are just like, okay, they do it for
Mhm.
1 month, and then guess what? It's the same as if we just consulted you off front, told you exactly what you're gonna get, set improper expectations. This person's eating ice cream at midnight and taking
Right.
Ozempic. It's like it's not gonna help. Hey, real fast, sorry, I know this is probably awkward, just kind of cut out, but our camera died, and we were just, we were flowing. So we'll just jump right into it. Basically, what I wanted to say is, Clay is working on getting me in the buying pocket because if you just come in and you just educate them right off the jump and just tell them exactly how everything works and there's really no gap, it's like that's exactly how they're going to treat you. They're going to come in, they're going to say thanks for the consultation, you're going to give them
Right.
some next steps, and then they're going to say cool, yeah, or maybe I need to think about it, or they're going to tell you they're going to do it and then they're not, and then you're never going to hear from them again, and that's going to end up in wasted time for you, wasted money for you, and then you're going to come back to us and you're going to be like, this lead sucked. Or if you're running your own marketing, you're going to be like, oh, that was just a bad lead. It's like, we're gonna walk you through the rest of this, but let's just jump back into it and see if we can kind of pick up where we left off. It's been about 5 minutes since we got the
Yeah.
camera back on the charger, so sorry about that. But yeah, basically what I was basically where we were at is you were just kind of asking me like gym questions, weight
Yeah.
loss
So
questions.
so we know that he's not very consistent with the gym. He's not very consistent with the diet. He's tried a few of the things that we don't really know much about yet. Obviously, when he's coming in, you guys kind of know what his current weight is, stuff like that. So we're gonna kind of transition into is really trying to build a gap because it's important in discovery when you're asking these questions to have him kind of sell himself to you. Like there's a reason why he showed up to the clinic. He wants to do it. But kind of to back on what Blake just said, you don't want to just kind of tell them everything and ask them if they want to sign up. It's easy for them to say no. But if they've just unloaded to you why they need help, they're not gonna say no. It's just gonna come down to how can we make it work
You don't
next.
really even have to ask for the sale at that point. It's like they're gonna kind of tell you like, well,
They
what's
actually ask
next?
you, yeah, what's the
Like
next
what's
step?
next? Like how does it work? So
Right.
let's keep rolling. But yeah, man, I wouldn't put gym and consistency kind of in the same sentence.
Got you. Okay, so I mean, I guess from, I know you haven't done a ton of, or maybe don't know a ton about medical weight loss, but what are you guys looking for, from taking some of these peptides? Like, what is the answer that you're looking for?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really know much about them. One,
Hmm.
I'm a little scared of them. Two,
Hmm.
but I'm just trying to find a way to lose the weight. Like,
Yeah.
simply put, it's just
Gotcha. Okay. So the first thing we'll be able to kind of give you a little bit more about what this all looks like and kind of what it actually does. But the second thing is, as you kind of mentioned, you're just trying to lose the weight. One thing I do want to just set the tone with you here is these peptides will help you lose the weight, but it's important that we also, have better habits moving forward. I
okay.
know you're weighing in around 220 right now. I mean, within the next 3 to 6 months, where are we looking to be? Like, where's your ideal weight?
Well, my BMI is high. I know you already told me
Hmm.
that earlier whenever we were weighing in. Just I guess get it in like the healthy range, and I mean I'm just really looking to for I'm just I don't really know how to put it, man. But it's just like I've heard a lot about these. I don't really know much about them, but I mean that's really it. Like
Yeah.
I don't really have any specific answer for that, unfortunately. I mean I'm
Okay.
just looking to lose weight and be healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, so let me ask you this. So how does this work? Like, tell me how this kind of works. Like, that's really the reason why I'm kind of here. I'm just trying to get some of that clarity and I'll kind of let you know, and we'll obviously how much it costs and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
of
So
course.
what does all that stuff look like?
Yeah, so I mean, first and foremost, everything's going to be completely custom, Blake. For if you came in here and you were 300 pounds and you were completely overweight, it's going to look a little bit different in terms of what's the dosage that we're giving you and what does this timeline look like versus someone like yourself who maybe just has a few extra pounds they're trying to lose and get back to their healthy weight. So that's why we're asking some of these questions, is because we have to make sure that this can actually help. Also, I do want to let you know there are going to be some side effects if we don't follow the process. So we need you to come in and understand that there's certain things that need to happen that,
What side effects?
well, for example, if you're coming in eating ice cream late at night every single night and taking Ozempic, that's not going to be the most healthy thing for your
Yeah,
for your internals, right?
that
So
makes sense.
there's a reason why we're asking you some of these questions, and I think if maybe you're running into some of these issues where you are getting those late night cravings, you're not being able to hit the gym, things like that, this is what a lot of these treatments can help you with. They kind of shut that part of your brain off where you are craving things.
Mm.
So there's a lot of these issues that you're running into, these treatments can definitely help you out with. But we also need to understand a little bit more about, what's the goal. You told me you don't really know what your goal weight is. And that's also hard for me to tell you, like, where do you feel healthy? What was your weight at maybe in the beginning of college or at the end of your high school career? You said you used to play some sports.
Yeah.
Where did you feel like was your healthiest weight?
You want to take this? Because what you just did is he just took the frame back. So I was like putting on my wall, like, yeah, just kind of tell me.
Hmm.
Like, I'm giving him a hard scenario. I'm like, just tell me the price. Like, how much does it cost? What does it look like? Timeline, etc. By the way, guys, this is a fake scenario, so this isn't going to be
Yeah.
completely perfect. I know there are some bits and pieces that are kind of like you're probably trying to be like, huh, a little bit, but it's like this is a total fake scenario. So
We're just kind of trying to show you on how to, like, when people have their walls up and they don't want to share information with you that you need to know, they can't. One of the biggest things about handling objections, there's no perfect sales tactic or something that's going to work. He can't disagree with the question. So how do I get those walls down is to, you can kind of notice I maybe explain myself a little bit, but then I follow up with a question. That's how I take the frame back.
mhm.
Because
It literally went from how much the price, and you said everything we do here is completely custom. If you're trying to do
yep,
this, it's like he knows the price in his head.
of
He
course.
knows how much it costs. He could sit here and just be like, hey, it's 279 first month, and then continue. It's like, or we can bundle it up and do it one time for that.
Right.
You just lost. You
Well,
literally just lost the sale at that
what we
point.
want to do from
Most of
this
the time.
point is, and again, we're not going to go into a 20-minute spiel about how to pitch GLP-1. You guys know more about all the side effects and the benefits and the dosages than I do. But what I'm trying to show you is to have this person in a very good pocket. So where by the end of that transition and pitch, we're asking them, hey, Blake, before we kind of jump into the different treatment plans that we can build for you, you know, give me kind of a feeling where you're at on a scale of 1 to 10. If one's like, Clay, I just don't know if this is going to be the right thing for me, the right
Save
solution,
the sauce. Save the sauce for the
you
next
know,
video.
uh,
Let's finish up Discovery because this is just you got to get through it. We have a lot of agency owners, people, everybody we talk to, just sales wise, and they're like, we do what we call a 2-call close. For a lot of y'all in the clinic, it's going to be a 1-call close, which means they show up. You can try to close them on the first time they show up, which is pretty typical for most businesses. But me and Clay, not a lot of people do this, but we do a 2-call close. If you've noticed, you had an initial call with us, and then you had an actual demo with us. The reason we're doing that, number one, is to see if you're actually a good fit for us, right? Like, we don't want to waste your time. And there's no better way than to just get to the point and figure that out and then having a quick 10, 15-minute chat. And we could tell based on tonality, based on, all these other factors. And trust me, we've heard everything. I've been burned before, all that type of stuff.
Yep.
We still can tell by someone's tonality. It's like, okay, they still want the help. So we're going to save the objection stuff. We're just going to show you how to take the frame back, bridge the gap, because you guys might, for the most of the time, people are coming in. They're not this reluctant to giving you information. They're open. What I am, I'm closed. I'm a closed prospect. I'm down and out. I'm not gonna be. I'm here to figure out the money, the price, how this looks. I'm not bought in.
He's a shopper.
I'm a shopper, right? So that's what we're gonna teach. We're gonna teach you how to overcome shoppers.
This is how you turn a shopper into a buyer.
So let's do it. So yeah, continue with where you were at.
So we kind of came off the custom game plan, and this is kind of where you started to agree. So let's just kind of jump back into it. So I guess, Blake, tell me, I mean, where was that ideal weight? When you were playing sports in high school and college and you felt your healthiest, you felt you the most energy. I mean, where was that at?
170,
Okay, so we're looking
160.
Okay. So you're looking to lose about 50 to 60 pounds from where we're at right now. And what's the timeline? I mean, if everything makes sense, like when are you kind of looking to get back this way? Ideally.
Yeah, I should. I mean, I wish I could be it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it's a process. I understand that it takes time, right?
Mhm.
But ideally, in a couple of in 3 months, 6 months, like I've heard this drug can like really drop the weight a lot faster. So I mean, like maybe that's a question for you. Like, what do you kind of see? Like, what have you kind of seen with the patients for this? Like, how fast is that 50-pound drop?
So it kind of depends on a lot of factors. I mean, if you come in and you're following our process, right? Like we can help you with nutrition, with nutritional coaching programs like that as well, where you're eating healthy, you're eating 2 meals a day, you're getting your workouts in at least 3 times a week. You're trying to fix a little bit of your habits. You're gonna get this weight off very quickly.
Okay.
On average, I mean, you can lose 8 to 10 pounds a month if you're following the process the right way. So
Wow.
we could be at that goal.
For 6 months, yeah.
We could be there in the next half year.
Then yeah, that would be ideal. Half of a year. I mean, that would be amazing. To be honest with you, that'd be great.
Cool. And I guess, I mean, just curious before we jump into all this, because I'm going to give you a lot of information how this all works. But, if everything checks your boxes and you do feel like this is the answer, I mean, are you looking to pretty much make a decision, today?
I mean, I don't. I wouldn't say. I mean, it really just for me, it would come down to I want to know a little bit about those side effects, because I have heard a lot of bad things,
Mhm.
right? Obviously, it's the internet. You Google something and it shows
Right.
you the worst, right? That and really for me, it's just within my budget
Mhm.
because I know this stuff is kind of expensive.
Yeah.
So I mean, if those check the boxes, maybe, but I mean,
Mhm.
I'm kind of interested more to hear a little bit about what we have to talk about, and then
Yeah.
maybe you walk me through the price. I mean, I don't know, I don't really know how this call goes or this consultation goes, but
Yeah, no, of
yeah,
course. Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, it's everything can be custom. Of course, we have different options to help you out if that's the only factor there at the end. But you did mention you have a lot of fear around the side effects. Like, what's kind of some of the things that you've heard that maybe you're worried about or that you're looking for more clarity on?
just you just hear all this stuff on social media. It's like you're dealing with a drug that regulates your hormones, you regulates your pancreas and all these other all these other parts of your body and your brain and everything like that. And so like I just I've just heard a lot of bad things about it. Long like it's too soon to tell really because there's not much on it, but I've just heard a lot about semaglutide kind of being, you know, more of a more of a dangerous drug than something like tirzepatide, where I've heard, but I've also heard that's more expensive. So that's kind of where I sit. But I also do and have seen people who have gone through just on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like the semaglutide route, and they've had good transformations, like great transformations. So, I
Yeah, of
mean,
course.
uh, it's easy to be skeptical,
Hmm.
but I don't know. That's why I'm here. I don't. I have no idea. If it's really what it is, or if like you mentioned, if you're eating ice cream and
Yeah.
taking Ozempic, right? It's like maybe that's what these people are doing, and they're kind of blaming it on the side effects from that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and there's also, just to give you some context, there's also a lot of companies out there that may just be, writing as many scripts as you can. But when you come in with us, it's going to be a weekly process that we're checking in on you. You're not self-injecting. So in terms of like all of those side effects, we would catch them very early on if you're working with us. It's going to be a very dialed in process that we're checking in with you. We're giving you a lot of support. So a lot of those things, it does happen. It can be an addictive chemical, which is again why we don't self-inject in the beginning, right? We want to do this the right way. And there's also you mentioned tirzepatide, other different peptides that can help you out. Again, that's why we're asking you some questions. Is by the end of this, we'll kind of build you out a custom game plan and show you which one I think would, be the best fit for you.
Mhm.
In terms of how can we get to 160, 170 in the next 6 months,
Yeah.
but do it healthily, and hopefully from there, provide you a way where you don't have to completely rely and be married to these slimming peptides. Now we just got you in a place where you're consistent, your diet
Yeah.
consistent, and you just kind of have a different lifestyle at that point.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
so, I mean, just based on that, I mean, are you, I guess, with the side effects, stuff like that, is it just going to kind of come down to how we can make it?
Yeah. No. I mean, if we can clear all that stuff up, then I mean, yeah, it definitely makes a lot more sense. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate you asking those things because
Yeah,
it's definitely that definitely cleared up a lot. So yeah.
yeah, of course. Well, look, I appreciate you being so open for me. I think, I understand a lot about where you're at now and kind of some of the issues that you've been through. So I'll kind of walk you through, what plan we would probably put you on. And then at the end, if everything checks your box and you're looking to move forward, we'll kind of show you different plans that we can help you get started on, to make it financially work for you as well. Is that cool?
Perfect.
And then you go right
Boom.
into your
Done.
pitch. So you go into your pitch, which is essentially going to be educating them, prescribing them,
I like how
doing
on
what
the
you
dot
guys
we knew
do.
when it was over because
Yeah.
that's the end of the discovery right there. He got the buy-in. First, it was like maybe no, I don't know,
Yep.
and by the end of that quick 5 minute thing before he jumped in, that's where most people mess up. Bro, I see it all the time. Most people mess up right there, and right before they just jump straight into pitch mode. They're like, yeah, I don't know, and they're like, you know what? Oh, that's totally fine. Let me just walk you through, some of the options that we have, and maybe I'll answer some of the questions you have, and then we can see if we can make it work. Cool. And they're just like, yeah, and
Right.
then boom, you lost. Like you lost. He was like, okay, well, I mean, walk me through some of these concerns. What have you heard? What have you seen? Oh, I've seen this stuff on TikTok. You never know what the objection's going to be. It's different every time. So that's why you have to ask those questions because maybe it was like, maybe I know somebody that did it and they had a terrible transformation.
Hmm.
That will be a completely different frame in the pitch versus like if I saw a TikTok or some
Right.
Instagram stuff. So if you don't have clarity on that, it could be something as simple as like, oh, he just saw something stupid.
Right.
That is just misinformation. Or it could be like he knows somebody personally where this drug messed him up. This is going to be a harder type of more emotional sale. But you don't know that until you ask a question. So
We also want to ask questions before we get into the whole game plan and everything because you want to pre-handle these objections before you get into the pricing where it's now they're having questions about the price, they have questions about side effects, there's all these different questions that they're going to have. You don't want them confused by the end of it. So I like to think about it, excuse me, as like before you drop the price, you're on offense.
mm,
You have the power. You're asking the questions. As soon as we're jumping into payment plans and stuff like that for them, now we're on the defense. We're handling the objections. Right now, they're just obstacles that we're trying to prevent. So we're trying to prevent as many as we possibly can. So by the end of the call, we can just isolate, or excuse me, the call, but the consult, we can just
either or
completely,
telemedicine or because we're doing
yeah,
this. And also, not to jump in on you, but I know earlier is like, Clay was saying this is why we don't self inject. It's like if you're in telemedicine and you do provide this,
right,
you just frame it differently. You
right,
literally just frame it differently. So instead of saying like this way you don't sell, you can literally take it as well. This is why you do it this way, or this is why in this process I do this. Or if you're just somebody who literally writes a script and you're done with it, well, truth is you need more value, and that's probably the reason why your LTV is trash is
right,
because you're getting you're getting people on 1 month 2 months and they're
right,
gone. It's like because you have no program for them. So the reality is we could tell you everything to do better, but the reality is you just need to make a better product.
right.
Your product just stinks.
Or on top of that, we run into a lot of guys who are like, oh, it's just a numbers game if I get enough leads, which goes back to what we said earlier. No, it's not. If you're able to convert at 70, 80%, you don't need 1,100 leads. You only need half of that, and you're still going to make more money.
Yeah.
So it's both ways, but I would agree. I mean, if you're only having people stick around for 30 to 60 days, you probably need to.
Make a better product. It's
Yeah,
like it's like for us, if we were
yeah,
looking at our feedback and it was like, oh, these people only stick for 30 days, it's like, okay, are you saying that that's the reality of everybody, or are you saying that's the reality with you? Because we have people right now who get these people on long-term plans,
right.
and then they're patients for life because they actually took the time to go through, figure out their pain points, and everything like that. And so that's what's next. You're basically going to jump into that consult where you walk them through all the different things, ask clarifying questions. Does that make sense for you before you move into the next
Yep.
spot?
Constant temp checks.
Constant temp checks throughout the whole time. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions for me? I always like to say, any questions, comments, concerns, death threats for me on that. Kind of lighten it up a little bit because it is an awkward conversation. So
Right.
you can sprinkle in your own thing. But I think where we go from here, we'll end the video right here. But where we'll go next is skip over the pitch because remember this is tailored to all the different services, and we'll get right into everybody's favorite objections because I'm gonna give them to you. You ready for them?
Let's do it.
All right, cool.